You guys really seem to enjoy my previous fragrance collection video, so today I am here with an updated fragrance collection. If you are new here, my name is Karima and I am obsessed with fragrance. Right now I'm having a little bit of a moment with like fresh and citrus notes, but truth be told, I dabble in a little bit of everything. I enjoy gourmand fragrances and floral and woodsy and spicy. I enjoy it all. Some new acquisitions that I have from Jo Malone. So I love me a bit of Jo Malone. They don't last a terribly long time on my skin, but that's okay with me. Sometimes I just want something really light and fresh, and I think Jo Malone really excels at that. So we've got here wood sage and sea salt. What a gorgeous fragrance. To me, it's neither sweet nor is it salty. It's just really crisp and fresh and clean. And I often reach for this if I am feeling a little bit migrainey or I just want a really subtle scent. It kind of reminds me actually of Molecule in that it's so soft, it kind of mixes with your own body chemistry and creates something unique. And then English Pear and Freesia, it's very pear heavy to my nose, and I love that. I love like a genuine fruit fragrance, not like a chemically super sweet imitation fruit, but a very authentic take on a fruit. You can't beat it. Orange Bitters, which is a fragrance that they bring out every festive season around December. I purchased this in December 2019 and I am really making my way through this 5 months later. So clearly I've enjoyed it. It is like a bitter orange peel on first spray. And I find it so warm and zesty and fresh at the same time. I wish it stayed like that on me. After a few hours, I feel like it turns into a really soft musk, which is lovely, but I'm really chasing that orange bitters note. So if you have a recommendation for like a bitter citrus fragrance, I'm all ears. And then we have the beautiful Rose and Magnolia by Jo Malone. So this to me is ultra feminine and super pretty. It's the kind of fragrance that I would imagine on a bride. It's like a beautiful fresh bouquet of flowers. And then I have this miniature Diptyque set, which I got for Christmas last year. And I really love miniature sets. I think it's a really great way to trial out a whole bunch of perfumes from a brand to see which you really connect with. And the first that I connected with was L'Ombre dans le. That's my best take on that French. French has never been my strongest suit. Fun fact, this fragrance was created in 1983. So it's actually older than me, but it feels very contemporary. So I think Diptyque describes this as a fruity floral mix. And yeah, I'd agree with that. I would call it like a very bright rose. It does have some sort of fruity note that cuts through the rose, and it makes it feel a little bit more playful. So if you like your roses, that's a good one. The next one I really gravitated towards was Eau De Minthe, which is a minty fragrance, and I just really want to explore minty fragrances more. What an odd note. And this one, I think, it kind of reminds me of quite a masculine fragrance, but with this refreshing minty whoosh. And this is actually one that I enjoy wearing to the gym. You heard me correctly, I wear Diptyque to the gym, sue me. Another iconic Diptyque fragrance is Docon, which is inspired by the Vietnamese seaside. And this is a big tuberose fragrance. And I know tuberose is a bit divisive. You either love it or you hate it. Imagine if you were to get a big bouquet of flowers and you were to stick your head directly in it. That is Docon. It's a statement, but I think it's really pretty. I actually do get a bit of a black tea note on my skin with Docon as well, which I really enjoy. And then the final Diptyque fragrance in my current collection is Tam Dao. This is a very dry fragrance, so it's very heady and aromatic. It's got a lot of those wood blends, and it's quite spicy. It's something that I tend to mix a little bit more with my sweeter fragrances to give them some interesting depth. But if you like your dry, spicy fragrances, you might like that one neat. Okay, put them back. What's next? Oh, this is an interesting one. Way North Bondi. So, truth be told, when I first received this fragrance, I wasn't super impressed. It just struck me as a nice, fresh, clean note. but nothing terribly unique. Although I do find myself reaching for this a ton, especially on those days where I'm like in my active wear, heading to the gym or just chilling out and I don't want a big fragrance. I get a lot of wear out of it. Nest Fragrances Cocoa Woods. So as the bottle may suggest, it is a cocoa and woody blend. This smells exactly like chocolate. It's definitely got like a bitter cocoa note. And again, this is one that I really enjoy mixing into other fragrances to give it a bit of a chocolatey kick. But if you enjoy your gourmand, foodie fragrances, that's a must. This is a very special one. It's by Terry. One of you guys told me how to pronounce this and I have forgotten. Flagrant Delice. Fragrant Delice? Oh, I don't know. You can tell me again in the comment section down below. This fragrance is divine. It just takes me to another place. It takes me to the south of France when I'm picking figs, and it is super fresh, but it's got a slight gourmand note. It's beautiful to wear in every season. It's the absolute masterpiece in my eyes. And I actually featured this in my 2019 beauty favorites. I could wear it every day. This one is interesting. It's MetaScent Chandra. I believe this is a niche fragrance. Is it Australian? I purchased this last time I was in Melbourne, and this kind of came at the height of my peach obsession. I was obsessed with finding peachy fragrances, and this one is a peach iced tea. That's genius. It's got those black tea notes that cut through the sweetness of the peach, and it's like wearing a peach iced tea. Very refreshing. This one here is Adrian's absolute favorite right now. Every time I spray this on myself, he's like, oh, you're wearing that fragrance that I love. It's Yves Saint Laurent Black Opium Neon. So it's kind of like a little bit more of a youthful take on the iconic Yves Saint Laurent Black Opium. They've added notes of dragon fruit and coffee. Kind of smells like a gummy bear, like a sexy gummy bear. It's the sexy gummy bear fragrance that you want to wear on a girl's night out. I want to give a shout out to two fragrances that I've actually repurchased. That doesn't happen very often. I would much prefer to buy a new fragrance and have a new experience than to purchase something that I've already owned, but clearly these are very special. So the first one is the Jo Malone Mimosa and Cardamom, which is a gourmand fragrance, so it's quite foodie. If you're not familiar with cardamom, it's again another divisive note. I used to have a real aversion to cardamom. I think it was because when I was younger, my grandmother would make Turkish coffee in the house and she would put a lot of cardamom and it would just fill every room and it made me kind of nauseated. But eventually I got over it and now I am very much enjoying my cardamom notes. So yeah, this one is creamy, foodie, and just absolutely glorious. And then the second fragrance that I repurchased is Isle of Man by Frapin. So this is a niche fragrance brand. I first purchased this in Queenstown, New Zealand. And I couldn't really find it online. So when I went back to Queenstown, the first thing I did was I went to the same store and repurchased it. This is described as a salty citrus. And I totally get that. It's actually a men's fragrance, although nowadays I think all fragrances are unisex fragrances to me. They've just managed to really like capture this like citrus by the seaside where you have the salt wash from the ocean and it is really easy to wear. That fragrance is really special and very much worthy of a repurchase. I think those are all my new acquisitions. If you would like to see my original fragrance collection video with lots of my old favorites, I will link that somewhere on the screen and in the description box. Tell me in the comment section, I would love to know, what is a fragrance that you've recently discovered that absolutely blew you away? I would love to know so that maybe I can have a sniff and buy it as well. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I hope you're all staying safe and I'll speak to you all very soon.